All right, this is the lesson for I Feel My Savior's Love. Before we start, make sure you download the tab and print it off. There's going to be a link somewhere on whatever page you're viewing this on. If it's on YouTube, then it's in the description. If it's on the website, then it's on the page that you're watching this on. And then, so we can go through that because we're going to rely very heavily on that tab going through this. I'm not going to put the tab on the screen as well because it's just too complicated and it takes too much time to do that. So print off the tab and you can follow along. Then also on the website, on mormonguitar.com, you also have the interactive tab, which is live tablature, which shows the video of me playing this, but then also the tab in sync with it, and you can slow it down, you can loop things, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can do all the things that you need to do in order to really kind of figure out how to play exactly what you're hearing in the real video. I'm going to try and take you through it here as best as I can, but we're not going to go incredibly slow. This is more just kind of to show you exactly how each things are being worked out up close. And then you can look at that tab and the interactive tab, which is all the interactive tab is really enabled by the guys at SoundSlice for making an incredible interactive live tab platform. I've been working with them doing that for a couple of years now, and it is so good. So make sure you do that. All right, let's get going. So measure one. The other thing to mention before we start, we're playing in drop D tuning, which means that you take your sixth string, which is your low string here, your low E, and you're going to drop it down a whole step to D. All right. So, and we're capoed up at the 3rd fret. All right. So, thing you're going to want to do is first drop the low E down to a D, then capo at the 3rd, and then tune. Alright, should sound like this. Alright, that is just standard tuning with that low E drop down to a D. Alright, let's get going. So measure 1. That's our first chord there. Alright. And I've got the first finger covering both of on the 2nd fret, both the 4th and 3rd strings, which is the D and G string. I'll sometimes refer to them as numbers, sometimes as the actual names of the strings, either way. And then my middle finger is covering the 3rd fret on the 5th string, or the A string. All right, and then I'm doing this little arpeggio thing, which is, I don't know if it's called an arpeggio thing or whatever, but basically it's just like a slow strum, except doing it with the fingers. And what that does is it really allows you to embellish the music and embellish the chords. So rather than just, you can, it makes it a lot cooler. And it's really, it's just take some time and just practice this. It's really just the physical mechanics of it. Getting your fingers and your muscles used to doing that. And once you get it, I promise you, it's like riding a bike. And it makes everything a lot easier. Or a lot prettier being able to do it, alright? You can, John Mayer does he does it with his finger, or with his thumb. And it goes, I like to do it with all the fingers, because with fingerstyle that we're doing, you're going to be jumping around all over the place. It's just easier to learn how to do that. Alright? Just start off slow, and then it's just kind of one motion. Alright, moving on. First measure. Alright. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of time on here just to explain what you're looking at. So you have a couple of notes that have parentheses around them. You're going to see that through this a lot. Those are ghost notes, which means that they're either notes that you don't play, but they're just kind of implied because of where you're moving. So right there, that 5th, so right there on that 5th fret, that's labeled as a ghost note, and I don't even play it. It's just because I'm I'm sliding into that chord and keeping that finger there. So you're going to hear that a little bit, but it's not played, so that's why it's a ghost note. And then you got that open D on the sixth string that is also labeled as a ghost note because it's not really enhanced or played. It's just kind of, you know, it doesn't really come out that much. It's really just more for the rhythmicness of it. The rhythmicness of it, yes, that is a word. All right, it's more just kind of like keeping the feel going. All right, now for this first intro part, the best thing you can do is just practice that over and over because it's all the same. The next is, see? Now the next part, and then we jump right into that second part. All right, let's go over that again. So that is the full first 4 measures. Same fingering, you're just sliding it up. Okay, I'm going to go slow on that now. The final chord is going to resolve to the major chord. Alright? So it's basically just those first 2 that you're playing with your first finger, just dropping it down 1 fret. So you could, but don't do that because that ruins your fingers. I don't know. It just seems really hard to me. Alright? So one more time. Okay, now we're into the verse. Not that note. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Alright, this is the only time I think in the song that I play that D with that open D. Most of the times I actually play on that 4th fret. Most of the time I add that in. I don't know why I didn't there, but I didn't on the video, so I didn't put it in the tab. Okay, so let's start again. So it's G. All right, this is now you can also finger it like that, 1, 2, 3 on those. But the reason I don't is because there's times that I add in the 9th, and so it just makes it accessible, so that's why I do that. Okay, now here, we almost do the exact same thing as the intro. Except right here, we're going to move up to the major, so we're moving, take away the middle finger, put on the ring finger. Alright? Exact same pattern as the intro. And now on to verse or measure 9. See, now I'm into the D and I'm actually playing with that 3rd. So that's the C shape of the D chord. All right, let's do that again from measure 8. Up. Now you could also do that with your pinky here, which is probably better. All right. Now, put those ghost notes in there. I'll play it like I should. Actually, I didn't do that. So right now I'm adding that ninth, and then just pulling it off. Hit that high E, except it's not an E because, you know, capo, but we've already gone over that. Or did we go over that? I don't think we did. So sorry if I'm rambling here, but just in case, I'm referring to everything as the actual chords with it capoed, not the chords as they are tonally. So a D, I'm going to refer to it the shape of a D, even though tonally that's an F chord because we're capoed up to, actually no, that's not an F chord, that's a, oh yeah, it is because we capoed up 3 frets. Okay, so if you sat down at a piano and played that, that would be an F chord. But because we're capoed and we're all guitar players and we like to think of things in shapes, it's D. All right? Okay, where was I? Sorry. Going back to, let's go back to measure 9. Bit of a tough chord. All right, you're just gonna bar your first finger across that 3rd fret, those notes, and then add in your middle finger, and then you're gonna come up here with either your ring or your pinky. Do your ring, because that is easier. All right. That G7 chord. Okay, now moving on. Now you can do this. This is really just a C chord without the first finger. And so I would go ahead and play that 2nd finger as well, so you have the actual chord. And then you're going to add that on. So, and when pulling off, you can either pull down or pull up, which is more of a push off. So pull, push. I usually pull. Alright, so let's try that again. Whoops. You want to make sure that rings. And all that is it's just a B minor chord, but you're just letting through that open. It's very pretty. One of the tricks of the trade. Alright, one more time. So it's measure 15. Let's go to 14 actually with that C major 7. Sorry, let's do it in time. Alright. A major 7, just like an A major 7. A minor 7, just like an A minor, except you leave that open, lift off that that ring finger to play that G. Alright. Okay, so now now the key here is go ahead and think of it in chord shapes. So we're doing the A minor 7, then a B7, which is basically that. Alright? But we're just playing the bottom 2 and that top. So, but, and then after that, then we're playing in with that note right there. Alright? So, now we're doing a C, but I go, instead of like fingering a C like that, I go ahead and just keep going with it with my middle finger and first finger. And then it's just like a D, except we're not playing that high. Alright, let's do that again. This is measure 16. Alright, going on. Pull off. Ooh, now we're hitting that minor, which is what I love. And right there, you're gonna have to go. You can either do your third finger playing that low 5th fret on the low string, or your pinky, whichever one you're more comfortable with. But let's do that again. Measure 20. Alright, that's actually a call to the very intro. That's where that's based off of. Alright, now we're going into the second verse. Now, the thing to remember about the second verse, lots more notes and stuff, but really it's the same chord shapes. It's just, you're just kind of picking them more. You're just playing all the other notes in just different patterns, but it might sound a little more complicated, but it's really not. We're just, you just kind of have to, we're just playing the notes in a different order. But as far as the left hand is concerned, it's not that much different than the first verse. So it makes the second verse a little more easier to learn, I think. Okay. And it's also a little syncopated with the melody here. So it's like da 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 da. Kind of think of it that way, all right? The best thing you can do while you're playing these is pick out the melody in your mind as you're playing it, and innately your fingers will play that melody line a little more accented, so you can hear it more. All right? Don't get lost in all the different notes. Just think of the chord shapes and hear the melody in your head. Okay, so pick up to 22. Okay, now, do you notice how with my left hand, I really didn't play that much different than I did in the first verse. I'm just entering into the next chord a half a beat early. Now I'm going right into the D, and now I'm going right into the E minor at 9, which is just E minor, but just think of it that way. See, that's that first. Now I'm, with that add 9, your ring finger's already there, so it can just stay there the whole time. So, here. Okay, I can play. I swear. Got it? One more time. Alright, now back to that kind of pattern. It's almost the exact same as the first verse. In fact, I think it is. Alright. Back to 24. Measure 24. Now open, because we're right into the G. Now that one we do a little different than the first time through, which I really like that note. It's one of my favorite measures in the whole song. So back to 25. Wait. 25 again. Whoa. Oh, that's right. I'm okay. let's go back to 24. I'm thinking that that's a different measure. Okay, 24. Love, love, love that. So let's just start at 26 again. What? Ah! Okay, one more time. The key here is to really let everything ring out as long as it possibly can. Back to the same. On to the second page. Back to that same G7 that we love. It's a little tough to get, but you'll get it. Now here we're adding it on. Wait. Okay, that's it. So we're starting with the chord, and then, then adding on that 5th fret with our pinky, so, and then pulling off with the pinky. All right? One more time. Got it? One more time. Alright, now moving on. Wait, sorry. Alright. Sorry if I'm confusing you more with this. 29. Okay, 29. Okay, now there we're pulling off again. So there's a lot of pull-offs in this. Okay, now the difference that you kind of get here is that the pull-offs are a little delayed, whereas a lot of times you're like, it's like right away, so. Alright, one more time. Okay, so into 31. Now we slide up again. Now I don't know if I mentioned this the first time, but you're only picking it when you hit that on the 1st fret and then sliding into it. You're not plucking it again when you slide into it. So it's just like that. Alright. One more time. One more time, cleaner. Alright. And this part is all, I think it's identical to the first verse. It is. See? So much of it repeats. Now this is the same as the beginning of this verse, I think. What? Okay, let's go over this lick. So one more time at 34, that pick up into 34, which is just like it is before. So that's just like the beginning of the verse. But now here, where it was before, just and then we pulled off, here we're going. Okay, so it's a hammer on. And then those 2 open strings. But the key is, don't take off that hammer don't take your 3rd finger off the fretboard, because then you're going to slide off, slide back down. Alright? Alright, the lick is really the can practice that. And then when you got that comfortable, then you just add in that low note when you hit that open higher one. So it shows you're actually shifting chords in the middle of it. Again, just the lick with the chord change. Alright, I think I pulled off there, but I don't think I do in the arrangement. Alright, and then just like before. Alright, good, you made it through both verses. Alright, now we're going into the third verse. And the third verse is the key change, and we also have a little bit of a melody change, which is just, I mean, it's not that much of a melody change, we're just being a little more liberal with the melody note choices. Alright, so going into the key of D now. Alright, now here we got, let me explain to you how it's written in tab, because this is the one part of tab that's a little confusing, is that when you have a chord like this, and then you hammer on at the end, so it actually shows the hammer happening before the chord, but actually it happens right on the chord. So you're hammering in to that chord. This is the James Taylor chord all over. This is his key. Alright? His signature, that's what I meant to say. So you can do the arpeggio thing, and then we're hammering on. So that's what that is. So into an A. And with an A, I do it with my first finger. Some people do A's like this. You probably do either one here. Into a B minor. Alright, now this one is almost just like that, except now you're moving this up one string. So instead of, see, that's a little trick. Alright. Okay. So at 44. Now I use my thumb here. You can also use your first finger. What, I skipped over something. Where did I skip over? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. In my mind, I did. Okay, 40. Measure 40. Okay, so before where we hammered on, now we're pulling off with that third finger, not the third finger, on the third fret with your fourth finger, with your pinky. Okay, now this lick here. Okay, let me show you what's going on there. So it sounds... Okay, so let's slow this down. So it's the hammer on. Now we're hammering on again with just the top two strings. Okay. Now with just the top string, we're pulling off with that grace note and then pulling off again. But the pattern is da-da, because that first one's a grace note. Okay? So. Got it? And then hold your ring finger there on the A, and this is why I play an A this way, is because then we do a pull off. So I don't think I do that arpeggio thing there. Except I can't not do it here. Maybe I do it, I just haven't put it in yet. Okay? But that's how it sounds, you know, it's a very James Taylor thing to do as well. Okay, Okay? And then here, a triplet, which is pretty simple. But keep that A shape the whole time, because you want it to ring through. And then we're going to that B minor and we're going to hammer into it. Alright? I don't think I've added in the arpeggio things there, because I think I do it. Got it? The hammer is on the B minor is just your first finger. It's just barred across all those strings, and then you just hammer on with those 3 fingers. Just practice that going on. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, because you're not plucking that second once you hammer on. Alright, so let's try that again from measure 42. This is the last time that we're going on. Now, G. We've already done those. Now we're going all the way up. Whoop, not there. Alright, and we're sliding into it. It's a little bit of a complicated chord. But the cool thing about it is that since you already are right here on that E minor 7 with your pinky and your third finger on the 2 high strings, you just slide up with those to right there. So you don't have to worry about picking up your fingers then replacing you, because you're sliding into this. Okay? And then let's try that one more time. Now we're going to slide in, use your third finger here, and then your pinky, because then your first finger is going to be used for the root note. And then you're sliding down. And really, so you're sliding into that, so you're not really plucking it. And then we're sliding up. Okay, those ghost notes, that 3 to 5 on that on the B string, that second string, are there because you're not plucking it. All right, one more time. Now to, and this is kind of like this is the very I don't know how to describe this. That chord right there, it's a very open, almost like a solid chord, you know, especially with all of the half notes, or not half notes, all of the eighth notes and stuff that are going on through this. That's the first, half note that kind of reestablishes the majesticness of it. There we go, that's the word. Okay, now this chord, it's a little tough. Hold on one second. Yeah?
Can I come in?
Can you give me just a few minutes? I'm just finishing a video lesson. Thank you. Okay, where were we? 49. So, that's how you're going to finger it. No other way than just practice that. But kind of slide it up. Use your third finger to play the root note of both, or bass note of both, and then just an open A. All right, and then the hammer on. That's it. So those are grace notes there that pull up. So it's just really quick. Okay, again, that's why I finger the A, or yeah, I use this fingering for the A. So I can pull off there. So. Alright, and then 51. Now it's a 7, the minor 7, because I'm just lifting up that pinky. And then just lifting up that bottom note. Alright, and then. And now here, we got that G minor with an E bass. And I do it by barring all 3 of those with my ring finger, and then bar that as well, and then the D. All right, 52, just the last 2 measures. Alright, hopefully that helped. Again, do the interactive tab on the website, mormonguitar.com. I'm telling you, it helps a lot. And thanks so much.